Fintiso, Fintastico, welcome back. OG Blade with you here once again. And the new knife company, new budget knife company, I would have to say, Fintiso, has sent me a third knife for review and eval. So I do appreciate them sending that to me and all the coordination that's taken through emails and whatnot and shipping. Great price on this knife, by the way, 43 bucks after my 20% discount code. I'm going to give you that code in the links. And I believe it's OG Blade 20, and you can get that right out at Amazon. Without further ado, this is the Hawk series, I'm told. There is the stock number that you'd be looking for if you want this exact one. They do an excellent boxed presentation here. I think nice substantial box with kind of the blue pinstripe around the outside there, and you do get your user manual inside and a few more things inside the pouch besides the knife. Now we get a microfiber cloth. You get a QR code that you can join the Fintiso I guess club, sales community, so forth. You get a Fintiso sticker, and somewhere in here you get a knife. And there it is, the Hawk series. So we'll just call it the Hawk in series because there are a few other colors. $53 on Amazon. 14C28N blade. This one is grayed out with like a gray cereal coat, it would seem. 14C28N, there's your blade stock. And kind of an interesting contrasting bright blue backspacer there with a lanyard slot through it. Plenty of room there. They're calling, this is a harpoon in my book, first of all. Got a harpoon on the top there. But what they're saying is that this little area right in here, which is got a little sharper shoulder than the rest of the spine, is used for your ferro rod to strike it to get sparks to start a fire. So at first they said, you know, there's a fire starter feature of this, and I'm looking all over for a rod, and there wasn't one. No, you're going to need to purchase that on your own, but they do give you a little area right there that holds the rod in. And I would have missed it if I didn't see that. Got an ample finger choil. And when you lock your hand in this way, it is pretty amazing, I think. The middle finger and the index finger and the thumb all kind of form a really wrapped around grip, tight grip on that. The pocket clip's a little, I don't know, I think that could be better. Why they angled it, I'm not sure, because when you fold it up and put it in your right pocket, since there's no provision for the left, it's going to cant the knife backwards this way, you see? So this will naturally swing into the pocket that way. Now, that might enable you to keep it further forward in your pocket and still have room to swing it back like that. Or you ignore that altogether and you've got a good inch sticking out of your pocket. I would recommend to Fintiso, by the way, they did a great job with flat-headed screws and flush and that inletted on the G10 clip, all beautiful and smooth. But I would recommend that maybe they try to move it up here and make it a straight clip rather than a curved clip. And the fold over should come straight across here rather than be on an angle. That's my take on it. So green G10 on this one. There, I think, is a black G10, and I think they all have different color backspacers. I'm calling that aluminum, not titanium at this price point at all. It's not steel either. So we're going to call that aluminum. There's F for Fintiso on the pivot, T8, and looks like the rest of the body screws are T8, including the clip screws. I don't have my kit nearby to validate that, but we're going to say that's probably the case. Nice millwork on the handle here, pretty fancy, with the grooves going longitudinally, and the little hash marks here on the edges. It is a contoured handle. We're going to get some measurements on it. How about that? Dig out the old tape measure. And we've got 7 3/4, maybe a tiny bit over that. Call it 7 3/4, with a blade of 3 1/4. I think they call it 3.26. And blade stock in millimeters, fairly thick, 3.2. And 0.12 in inches, and inches on the handle. Ooh, 0.58. Pretty fat boy. But again, contoured. It does give you that substantial feeling in the hand. Now, as I said, this is a 14C28N blade, steel. Not a bad one. One that was made for the cutlery industry, particularly for culinary and kitchen knives. 4.3 ounces. Seemed heavier than that. It's just got kind of a solid dead weight to it. One thing I picked up on here is, look, we're really got a short blade for the handle, although you have absolutely no danger here of picking up the point, which is good. It kind of goes down a little bit. We would call that a drop point if it didn't have that little hook there. And we can call it a harpoon, or a drop point, your choice. Lockup, very solid, nice job. Now their previous knives, this is the Cobra series, a push button or button lock. This had has a little shorter overall. It's kind of a Schillen cutter design, if you're not familiar with that. This is the Vosteed Schillen cutter. They call it the Nightshade. And that's a very small knife by comparison. It's a bar lock with that big old, not big in this case, but that rather wide and dropping leaf shape blade characterizing the Nightshade series for that company, for Vosteed. The other Fintiso that I previously reviewed is that guy, and let me pull up the name real quick. They don't put it on the blade, which is difficult because I can't remember all the names. It's the Odyssey. Now, both the Odyssey and the Cobra have aluminum handles. This being a good size EDC knife, I would say comparatively, it is just slightly longer than the Odyssey. I like the feel of a G10 handle personally, rather than the aluminum. I just don't really care for aluminum handles. I have a hard time even dealing with them on some of the Microtech knives, and many of those are with aluminum handles, but Microtech seems to do a good job finishing them so they don't have that kind of chalky feel to it. Here we've got some feeling, some texture, some grip. And if I were to, let's see, daily carry today is the Real Steel knives, signed by Ivan Braganets, and I'm trying to think of the name of this one. And so that is the Rokot, R-O-K-O-T, which has some reference to thunder and vibration and rockets in, I think, the Russian language. Interesting. About an inch longer overall. And a blade, about maybe a half inch or so longer. Anyway, very nice, slim, beautiful EDC carry knife, front flipper, thumb stud, and so forth. Got a review out on that one, a couple of reviews, because there's another higher end model from Lamnia that I reviewed separately on that one. But back to the subject. Again, we have Fintiso, we have the Hawk series, and I will be providing you a discount code for Amazon that will get you 20% off, about 10 bucks on this nice budgety EDC knife. Well, let me know what you think. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. You can see a little logo right over here. If you click on that now, you will be directed to the link for subscribing to my channel, and you'll be notified when we have new vids and other good stuff coming out. Be well, take care, see you soon.